as usual, paste in so we know what we're talking about. Pin it, pin comment. Okay, hey Corey. Hello Corey. For those of you who don't know, that's my husband. Hey Miss Nail Queen, how are you? God, I'm getting to the point where I am going to have to wear my glasses. Hey Megan. It's like, come on eyes, work. Lashany. That's Jenny. Hi. Corey says beautiful and blue. Thank you. Hi Anna. Hello Ala. Ayla, however you pronounce it. Hey Natasha, you're becoming a regular. That's fun. Hey Maria. Okay, and I can't read it. Hi, lots of highs. Miss Nail Queen, you're good. Somebody says, I love your products. Do you ever put your oil on your toes too? Ooh, good question. Yep, you can. Absolutely. Most people like to have two separate pens, one in the bathroom or wherever you do your toes, and then the other one, four of them. You should have four with you all the time. Well, not with you, but this is why we have the starter pack as 4 pens, because you need to have one in your purse or your backpack, one in your wherever you work, for those of you who work, and have it on the desk or in a drawer, another one by the television, and another one by bed. And the reason is because our brains are weird, just plain weird, and they don't remind us to do things at the appropriate time. Like, have you ever noticed, for those of you who drive, have you ever noticed that when your brain says, oh, by the way, you need milk, and you just drove by the grocery store about 5 minutes ago. It's like, really? You couldn't have told me when I was right by the grocery store. So our brains are like that too with our oiling, that it's like, oh, you're looking at your hands. Oh, maybe I should oil those. And then if you only have one pen, you're like, snap, I left that at home. So it makes the habit harder to do. Gail says hello. So I saw lots and lots of hellos coming, and I'm so happy to see all of you. I'm gonna let it go a little bit longer before I give you the question or the answer. I'll give you the answer for today's challenge question. Contest, that's the word I'm looking for. Wake up. Come on, Anna. It's 11 o'clock. We should be awake. But you know what? I think that's something of, we need to learn to respect our circadian rhythm and the way we work. My brain just doesn't start working till 11 or 12, which is not good. It would be most helpful if it worked at 8 a.m. But I have shown up to work at 8 a.m. and don't get a whole lot done because my brain, other than kind of just doing tasks that don't require a whole lot of brain power, I never start writing an article before 11 a.m. Okay. Somebody says, you just reminded me to oil my nails. Thank you. You're welcome. How do you compare C&D solar oil to Simply Pure? It's an excellent question. I can only personally compare it by looking at the ingredient lists and the feedback that I've heard, because its main ingredient, I don't remember it's been a long time since I looked at their ingredient list, but they have jojoba as the 3rd or the 4th ingredient, and the reason is because that stuff costs about $160 a gallon, and then like almond oil is like $30 a gallon, and so they use almond oil. I'm allergic to almonds, and so that's kind of how the whole business started, was because when I learned that certain oils can plasticize the nail plate, which is a fancy word for make it more flexible so that when you whack your nails into something, they're going to bend. That's what we want. And so when I learned that, and that jojoba wax ester was especially important because under the microscope, it looks almost identical to body oil. Do I have my pictures? Let me show you my pictures. Let me find that because it's kind of fun to see the chemical structure is made out into nice, pretty little pictures. Anyway, so right side up on it, that would be good. So here's the difference between body oil and jojoba. Do I have that right? Yep. Oh, nope. Jojoba is on the top, and then body oil is in the middle, and sperm whale oil, which is illegal now. It's illegal to use sperm whale oil. But see how they're all very, very similar to body oil? That means that our skin and our nails absorb them very, very easily. Now this one is olive oil. And as you can see, we call that branched chains, and that is about all the chemistry I know. I've learned it from my mother, who's our chemist. Anyway, so you can see just from that picture, even though it's a pictorial representation of what they see under the microscope, that this is much more difficult to penetrate into the skin and the nail plate. So when I learned that jojoba was so important, that's where I started, and then I started looking at all of the ingredients that were in commercial oils, and every single one of them had almond oil in it. So I was like, well, okay, time to do more research, time to figure out which ones are going to be really good. And so I just kind of went this one, this one, this one, this one, this one, and I wanted them to be edible. I wanted you to know exactly what was in it. And our oil is edible, but the fragrance oils make them taste terrible. So that's how this business started. And people have told me when they've used C&D and then they try ours, and they said it's like night and day difference comparing apples to oranges, that kind of thing. So, okay, it's about 15 minutes in. Looks like we've lost a few people, but that's okay. You 28, and wait, we got 7 over on Facebook. So here's the question and the answer. So the answer is, and I'll tell you that first, is that Corey would tell me if you prepare at night, you would not be running around in the morning before 11 o'clock. Because I had the iPad charging in near the kitchen, and I had this selfie stick was in my car. And what else? My tripod I had used for something else, so it still had the legs really, really long, so I had to fix that. And then the spa was still on, and I was getting phone calls from my mother and a neighbor, and it was like, no, I can't talk right now. I have to get ready. I gotta do the makeup and the hair and all of the things. And Corey would be like, well, if you had done these things and got them all prepared and ready, then you would have been prepared. You would have been fine. So that is the answer. And I will ask you later in the live to tell me, and that we will pick a winner from that. So Corey, I need you to screenshot that because I want to pick one of the first people to get that question in. Okay, let's see. Let me answer one question. Let's see. Somebody says I have an oil pen in every room too, in daughter's room. Let's see. I'm not seeing a question yet. So good. So what I'm going to do is I am going to wait. Somebody says I'm about to give Zeppelin. I'm about to give up. I've followed your instructions. I've started about 6 months ago with three-day hydration treatment. I've never showered naked nails since. I use the 5 coats of wrap, the 5 fab wrap when I have time. And then I think it got cut off. But, oh, there it is. Do the overnight hydration maybe every 2 weeks, yet my nails still peel, and when I remove my polish, I can see now the layers have separated. email me, sweetie, because what I need to do, if you're willing, I need to ask you about 15 to 20 questions, and then that will help give me a bigger picture so that I can give you a good answer. Because a lot of times people give me these little bits just like this, and I can't figure it out. I can't pinpoint it. The biggest one, and I'm about to finish an article, but the biggest reason that our nails like suddenly start peeling is because of some sort of massive stress that happened in your life about 4 to 6 months ago. So a lot of, as soon as I ask that, then it's like, I started a new medication. Oh, I just moved. Oh, I've been diagnosed with cancer, which is not funny. I'm sorry. Oh, I got a new job. Oh, I started school. Oh, I'm working on my finals, a term paper, a doctorate, whatever it's called. So those kind of things. And that is about 90% of the time, that's what I'm able to pinpoint. Other than that, if it's not that, then for sure email me and I will work on that. And here's the cool thing. If I don't know the answer, I have access to my mentor, Doug Schoon, who wrote Nail Structure and Product Chemistry, and I can just send an email off to him, and he's awesome at getting back to me pretty quickly, usually within a week, and that's quickly. To me, that's quickly with people who are as busy as me. Okay, so the thing I want to do before I answer a bunch of questions is I want to talk about the 3 new products. And for those of you who've been following, so I introduced one on Tuesday, yesterday. I took a little field trip to Babies R Us, and then today will be the reveal for the last one. Of course, I put it over on that side of my table. Hang on. Okay, so the first day, Tuesday, we introduced my favorite dish gloves, and I have been wanting to carry these for so long, and I've never ever experienced any gloves like these. Everything I hate, just like all of you. So many people are like, I won't wear gloves. I just won't wear them. They make my hands slimy and gross and stink, and the lining peels off and crumbles and turns into a powdery, gross, sticky mess. And so these kitchen gloves, I know you guys can't see it, but this lining, I have yet to have it rub off, and it feels almost as soft as a rabbit. So I just love these gloves. They only come pink, which I like. It's kind of chic. And then, so I have a pair in the kitchen and doing bathroom work, which I try to pawn off on everybody as much as possible, except I have to take care of my own bathroom. And then I also keep another pair of gloves in the laundry room. And the reason for that is because I have broken so many nails pulling out heavy, even though they've gone through the spin cycle, heavy bath towels and jeans. Oh gosh, jeans. So gloves really help you, especially get a good grip. You can't see it, but it's got little swirlies, so it's got a good grip. I have not dropped a glass in my sink yet. My family, on the other hand, different story. And that's because they don't wear the gloves. They are latex free, BPA free, phthalate, I think that's how you pronounce it, free. They are 30% thicker than regular gloves, and they're manufactured in Portland, Oregon. So I'm in Olympia, Washington, and I could go down and see their manufacturing facility, all in my spare time. So anyway, super happy to have these. They are $6.99, if I can remember. I should have written that down. But anyway, love these, and I know they are not available internationally, so that's really cool that we're able to do that. Okay, product number 2 from Wednesday, and this is why I took a field trip to Babies R Us. So this is the car seat key, and what it does is this little button right here, kind of can't see it because it's black, but you slide that over the button, the obnoxious, horrible, evil button that is that holds all of the 5 parts of a 5-point harness for our wonderful children, but they are so hard to get undone. And I really, really wish I had had this when my children were small. Now Justine is 20 and Bradley is 11. So it's, thank you for children for growing up, because I am enjoying having children who are self-sufficient. But I really enjoyed them when they were small too. But I had to, like, my thumbs are really short right now. I had to keep all of my nails super, super short because those car seat buttons killed me every time, especially when you're trying to hurry and it gets stuck and then you're like, oh my God, I gotta get out of here and I cannot get you out of the car seat. So that's this. And I went through, it might still be in the live in your stories, but it'll be up on YouTube in about a week. I went through Babies R Us and I checked every single one. And we went through the strollers too. I found one stroller, it didn't work. So I would not have bought that stroller, but it worked on strollers as well. And so this is $10.99, and we're super, super excited to be approved as distributors. So this is, I mean, you guys know me. I am, for those of you who've been following along, our mission at Bliss Kiss is to create or find life-changing products with an exceptional customer experience. So I'm always looking for things and creating things that are going to make manicures, nail care, nail art better, and so that we can enjoy that whole process a whole lot more. So this is one of those, and especially if you're a mom, if you're doing nail art, of course you're spending a lot of time on it, and the last thing you want to do is break it. And then the other thing that this is really, really important for, I actually think it's even more important, is for grandparents, because I have heard many stories of grandparents not being able to get their grandchildren out of the car seat. And so they've had to change their plans because they couldn't get the child out. So we want that to be much, much better so you can spend time with your grandchildren. And the reason that I think it's important is because all of our baby boomers born the 1940s, they are turning into grandparents. They are well-established grandparents, and they do not have the hand strength to be able to get those car seat buttons open. Wow, that was long-winded, but this is a really, really important and exciting product. Love, love, love it. That is $10.99. That's on the website now too. And man, I could host two questions, 2 contest questions, and I think I will, because I can do those things. Okay, so the last product that we have, and I know you guys have been asking me for it. So these are our fantastic pink nitrile gloves for doing the overnight hydration treatment that so many of you have tried or are dying to try. And so it comes with one of our oil pens, and this is the mini hydration kit. We are also going to be starting to offer a large hydration kit on Black Friday. So we've got that, and then we've got a mini lotion stick. And here's a fun thing. Remember when I said Corey would tell me to be prepared? That's a lip balm. I ran around the whole house looking for a lotion stick mini. Some stuff of ours doesn't come home with me. Gosh darn it. I think I gave away the one that was in my purse. I have a bad habit or good habit of doing that. I give all my pens and my lotion stick minis and stuff. I give them away to people, and then I need them and I don't have them. So anyway, that's another answer. I accidentally brought, all I have at home is a lip balm. So you don't get a lip balm, you get a lotion stick mini. So, and I don't remember the price of this, but it is up on the website and available now. And what's really cool about these gloves, and the reason that they're pink, is they are developed for medical staff who have to work with the chemicals that are for chemotherapy. And these will hold up to those chemicals for 4 hours before they fail. So they're also much thicker than regular nitrile gloves. I love that they're pearlescent because, you know, we're girly except for our lovely guys. But anyway, most of our followers and our customers are female. So that's really, really exciting. So there you go. Okay. It is about halfway into the live, so I want to answer some questions. Let me go over to Facebook. I saw some things coming through. Let's see. Amy says, I just discovered your products and am devouring the information. Question. I get why water is bad for your nails, but I don't quite understand why it's bad for skin. Doesn't skin need water too? I have dry. Okay. This is the thing that, but oh, there it worked. I have dry hands prone to eczema. Ooh, good question, Amy. And I have lots of great information for you. So one of the misconceptions, big misconception, is we call water moisturizing. And in truth, water is moisturizing, hydrating to the inside of your body. It is not to the outside. What keeps our skin soft and technically moisturized is oils. I mean, look at the body. The body has given us the answer. It's body oil. And so that's what we need to protect our skin, keep it soft, keep it from wrinkling. Have you ever noticed that people who live in really, really hot locations, they end up with really dry skin, and then as they get older, they get a lot of deep set lines in their face, and it's just because their skin is so dry. And that's kind of why I really like living in Washington, in the United States, because we have quite a bit of moisture in the air, and so I like my skin. I don't have to put sunscreen on all the time, and so anyway, I get lots of compliments, which is very, very nice. So I'll go back to that. My son Dane has eczema, and actually 2 of my boys have different kinds of eczema. Dane's is more the traditional, and we just went round and round with dermatologists, and finally the dermatologist said the right thing to me, even though he had been giving Dane and me a different protocol. But he was like, okay, what your son has is a compromised skin barrier, which means that he's not producing enough body oil, and so outside pathogens, stuff floating in the air, rubbing against blankets or rolling on the carpet, all the things that kids do, those things irritate the skin and make it mad. And so what his solution for me was, okay, put him in a warm bath for 10 minutes every evening, and then slather him with this thick, I think you guys who have eczema, you'll know. I think it's by Aveeno. There's another one. Eucerin, maybe? Anyway, really, really, really thick, quote, moisturizing cream. That's the air quotes. It wasn't moisturizing. What it was doing was just sort of trying to, as he said, trap in the moisture into the skin. And so we did that. And he finally gave up. He just was like, Mom, this isn't worth it because I feel hot and slimy and sticky, and I would just rather deal with the eczema. That's how bad those are in terms of, this is not increasing quality of life. And so then when I started doing research and learning about oil and how it can help our body oil and which oils actually help our skin, I was like, you know what, Dane, how about if you just try the oil that I created? And It was amazing. In 3 days, all of his scaly skin, and because he gets it on his eyelids, and he's got a massive scar on his neck here from scratching the heck out of his skin. And so within 3 days, that had all calmed down. And when he stops oiling his skin, those symptoms come back. So what that taught me was the very worst thing you can do to your skin is sit in warm or hot, take hot showers, sit in warm, hot water. Because what that's actually doing, you think about when you're doing the dishes, okay? We use hot water to melt the oil particles, and soap to bind with the oil molecules, so it goes down the drain. So what are we doing when we use hot water, warm water on our skin and soaps? We're doing exactly the same thing. We're cleaning our skin so much that it gets mad. So it's very, very important that we use oils on our skin and try and get as little water on them as possible. And you know, when we take our showers, I love hot showers. So I just use oil afterwards, because you get out of the shower and you feel stripped. You just feel dry and itchy, and that's why. So also, if you have eczema, we've started a Facebook support group, and okay, let me remember the address. You're going to go to our website first, and it'll give you all of the links, and we have videos and other stuff to help you. And so it is myBlissKiss.com/healthy skin. So Amy, that was a long-winded answer for you. Hopefully that helps. Let's see. Okay. Michelle says the car seat key is amazing. I agree, 100%. Okay, so we've got, let's go back to Instagram. Almond oil is the first ingredient in solar oil. Yeah. And almond oil does penetrate the nail plate. I don't remember the chemical structure of what it looks like, whether it's branched chains or whether it goes all straight across. But people have just said it does not work the same. And here's another thing. I had been getting questions lately, so I've been answering this in the last couple of lives, but I've been getting questions about, well, Anna, if you talk about jojoba so much and why it's so important, how about if I just use straight jojoba? And that is certainly an option, because jojoba is a wax ester, and it's really not an oil. It is liquid at room temperature and looks like an oil, but behaves completely differently. And so it's about 30% of our body oil is wax ester. So then you go, and where's I going with this? Where's I going? Come back, Anna. Oh, why don't I just use straight jojoba? Well, my mom and my best friend did this back when I first started our business, and they both came back in about a week, and they're like, it doesn't work the same. Why doesn't it work the same? And the only thing I can guess is couple things. If you're buying your jojoba and it's cheap, it probably is going to be, it's cut with other cheaper oils. And you won't know because they blend together really well. They don't separate like oil and water kind of thing. So you won't be able to tell, but guess what? It won't work the same. Because we spend a lot of money on our jojoba. We source it from the best harvester, I think that's the right word, called Desert Whale. I love that name. I love it, love. That's where we source it, but then we have another distributor because they do such huge volume. But I chose their jojoba specifically, and I love that they're called Desert Whale because jojoba grows on a bush, and it's the seeds that then they drop to the ground and they are scooped up. They're literally vacuumed up, and then go through a sifting and sorting until with smaller grates, and they bounce along as we've seen in some of the how it's made kind of videos. And so then that is pressed, and it's pressed very, very slowly like olives are pressed, and it squeezes out the oil or the precious jojoba wax ester. So, where is I going? Okay, come back. And so that is why it's so important to me, because there's been many times where I've had my mom working on different, because she's our chemist, I've had her working on different products, and she's wanted to pick different ingredients, and I'm like, no, I'm choosing this ingredient because it works. It's what I want, and I don't care how much it costs me, which is why you will find that some of our products seem more expensive than other competitors, let's say, and it's because I will not compromise on that. And so as inflation goes along, our products will get more expensive. It's just sort of the way of life. So anyway, that goes along with our mission of creating life-changing products. So long-winded back. There's something that happens when you combine jojoba with, we combine it with grapeseed oil and olive oil, vitamin E, vitamin A, and a little bit of tea tree oil. And then our, and I added olive squalene because I love it. It's really, really good for the skin. And so there's something that happens, and I don't understand chemistry very well. I know a little bit to be dangerous. But there's something, the synergistic, that happens when you put them together, and then they behave differently in our nails and our skin. And so it's just, I can't explain it. Actually, one of our team members gave me an easy analogy, and he goes, it's kind of like making a cake. And I think we all can relate to this. When you make a cake, you start with flour and eggs and oil and whatever else is going to be in your cake. For me, it's cake mix because I'm kind of busy. So you take those separate components and you put them together, and then you stick them in the oven, and you have something completely different. It is no longer eggs, oil, flour, etc. It's cake. So that's kind of how that's the easiest way for me, especially my brain, to process that and make it make sense, is there has to be something that synergistically happens and it just becomes a different thing. Okay, that was long-winded too. I seem to keep going on a roll down different rabbit holes today. Sorry about that. Okay, let's see. How often do you do the overnight hydration treatment? Love from Sweden. I do it if I can, if I've got time. I usually, I get 7 to 10 days wear of my nail polish. And so when I take it off, I will do an overnight hydration and then come back to work. And while I'm answering emails and stuff, I'll paint my nails. And that's another big thing, is a lot of people, they want to get their nails done as quickly as possible. And if you have the time, if you can make the time to stretch the process out, either answer emails or watch television or do some social media stuff, but let each layer thoroughly dry before the next one. Because if you think about it, as you put on your second layer, it's moistening. It's not moistening. It is, the solvents are re-wetting the layer underneath a little bit. And then, so now you've got a thicker layer, another layer. It's moistened the layer under, why do I keep saying that? It's It's liquid. What's the word? Anyway, so it's re-wetting that layer, and then you put another layer on top and it's re-wetting it, and it takes longer for every layer to dry because the solvents have got to evaporate from more than one layer. Which is why there are some top coats that whatever their solvents are, they actually help pull the solvents out of the lower layers. Don't know how that works. That's a chemistry thing. But a lot of people, like Seche Vite is one of those. But a lot of people notice that they're shrinking because it's drying so quickly that the product shrinks on your nails, and that's my problem, is that it shrinks on the tips. And for me, having enough polish on my tips is very, very important because of doing so much work, and my nail tips touch everything, much less my fingertips, but my nail tips touch stuff when I pick it up, and so I get a lot of tip wear. So I can't have a top coat that shrinks, so I use a slower drying, quick dry top coat. Is that that sounds like an oxymoron. Slower drying, quick dry top coat. And I make sure that all of my layers are dry in between, which can take 5 or 10 minutes. Give it some time. And the way I know is the smell test. I smell it right after I've polished, and then I wait for that smell to really almost completely go away. So that hopefully will help you as you're doing. So I usually do an overnight treatment in between manicures. That's another long-winded answer. Oh, good question. Hi, Anna. Do you have to file your nails in a specific one direction? This is such a great, it's a fairly new myth. And that is because there was nobody to prove that it was wrong. And that was until Doug Schoon decided to break out his microscope, his electron microscope, and he tested it. Does it, if you file your nails one direction, which doesn't mean just always one direction. What it means is like 3 strokes this way, and then you take the file and go 3 strokes this way. So you're not doing the seesaw back and forth. And so all the bloggers were like, you have to do it this way, otherwise your nails are gonna fray and they're just gonna be a mess, and then they're gonna break, and that's wrong. And that's what he proved, is that it doesn't matter whether you file one direction or whether you seesaw back and forth. It looks exactly the same under the microscope. So, and actually this is a fun one which I've never gotten to show you guys, but you're going to be at the very bottom. Almost. This is so fun because this is what your nail tips look like after we've filed them. They look like this all the time. So you can actually, this is a great example too of, you can see, so this is the top surface of the nail, and you can see the different layers and why it's so easy for water to get in. When we're washing dishes, taking showers, water just penetrates into your nail tips, and then it pushes. So this is I've talked about some of these, this in a couple, but it's such a great example. I'm so glad one of my team members finally said to do this. So you've got a book that's got all of these pages that lay nicely together, beautifully, nice and flat, okay? Soon as you get that book wet, soaked this book, the whole binding was falling apart, but look at what happens to the pages, okay? They all, as much as I tried to get it, I kept going out in the sun and I kept trying to squish it and hold it down, but that didn't help. Anyway, the pages are now warped, and there's no way that they're going back together. So this is such a cool example. It goes right along. Again, I don't have enough room, but anyway, you can see it's so easy for water to get in there, and it just pushes all those layers apart, and then you end up with delamination, which is the fancy word for peeling nails, and you end up with that. And that is because water has pushed those layers apart. And so the only thing to do, people have been emailing me about this too, the only thing to do is whatever part of the peeling has lifted up, you can very carefully clip it with nail clippers, or file that, just that little lifted area up. You can file down, you can file that down, and then you've got this gap here. What I do is I fill that with a gel consistency nail glue, and my favorite one is by IBD, and I find it at Sally's Beauty Supply, and I usually buy 2 or 3 at a time because it does thicken up about halfway through. It's like $3. And so that's what I'll do to touch up that peeling tip, and then you let that dry, and then just cover over that with your polish. You're good to go. If you have a lot of trouble with peeling tips, excuse me, then you want to make sure that you get enough top coat and have it wrapped all the way around the tips to the underside. And if you get a lot of tip wear, and you can see this with your colored polish, then you want to make sure that you're adding additional coats of top coat so you can seal that edge again, and that will help prevent, reduce peeling that happens from the tips. God, I'm talking all over the place. Okay, so I am going to stick in, let's see, so Corey, get ready for screenshots, or somebody. Gosh, there's a whole bunch of questions that I haven't answered. Okay, so the first one is actually, so type in your answer. What would Corey say to me before I'm getting ready for a live? What should I do? So that is the question. Type in your answer, and I will look for another question that I can answer. I love how you and your articles are always full of correct information. Thank you. I work so hard. And I love that. I mean, I have Doug Schoon's book, Nail Structure and Product Chemistry. That is earmarked, highlighted, sticky note tab to find everything, all of the information. And some of it is actually starting to get outdated. So he's published a couple more books that are based on his video series, their transcripts. And so there is new information in there. And one of them is like, do you have to file in one direction? No, you don't. There's one that says, do you any other cuticle oil brands? Do I make? Have I tried? I'm not sure exactly the complete question. So Megan asked me, try that again. Somebody said, did you kick Corey? No, he's at work. I can't do that. Okay, so you said you've already done that, Zeppelin, with Adrienne already. She has moved on, so try again, please. Or send me the answers that you did. Let me know if there's anything that's changed since you emailed with her. Okay, Amanda, I emailed you last week and haven't gotten a response. Make sure when you guys email us, you should get an immediate autoresponder that says, thank you, we've received your email and we'll get back to you. If you don't get one of those immediately, then go to our website. Then it means that we didn't get it. It's hung up at your server, it's hung up at our server, who knows? It's sometimes it cracks me up. I will email Corey and it will take 10 minutes to get there. I'm like, what is it doing? It's going to India first and then coming back. And technically probably it is, because the way emails work is they go from server to server to server to server to server and eventually get back to you. Sometimes that's really quick and sometimes not so much. So Amanda, if that is the case and you got an autoresponder, please call. And then we will help answer that question, whatever question you have. You can also, if for some reason you email us and don't get the autoresponder, go to myBlissKiss.com, find the contact information, and that for sure gets directly sent to us. So we haven't had any issues with that. Okay. Let's see. Dragon Granny, I have followed all of the steps and I still can't get rid of my ridges. That is such a good comment. And the reason is because you don't want to get rid of your ridges. The ridges are the thickest part of your nail plate. Let's see if I've got an image here. So yeah, I do. So you've got your ridges. Most of us know what they are. And they seem to get more pronounced the older we get, and I'll explain why. But anyway, so the ridges are the thickest part of your nail plate. And people don't like them. We've been trained, taught, promoted that we should have very smooth nails and buff them nice. That is the worst thing you can do to your nails. And the reason is what you're doing is you're taking the thickest part of your nail and you're matching it down to the thinnest part. Talk about a way to make more peeling, more breaking, more chipping, all of that. So what we want is our ridges. That's great. The problem is the channels, the grooves in between each ridge. And what that means is that these little sections of your nail matrix way back here, okay, so the nail cells grow back here. And these little sections are not functioning at highest capability. And as we get older, our digestion decreases, the quality of our digestion. We're not able to absorb all the nutrients of our food. A lot of our foods have terrible nutrients to start with because we don't have lovely soil that we're growing everything in. A lot of the nutrients from the soil, which then goes to the plants and then goes to us, it's just not there. It's not there in our plants anymore. So those little sections, also with getting older, there's a lot more health issues. And remember, I was talking about health issues and other big stresses to your nails can cause them to peel more. That's why. So you want to fill those grooves. So it should be a groove filling ridge coat, but we're used to ridge filling base coats, and that's what you want. You want a good ridge filling base coat. You want one with microparticles. I'm busy testing 6 of them right now. You want these microparticles that then settle into the grooves. So like if you've noticed that if you just use polish and you have ridged nails, the polish actually evenly distributes itself over the nail plate. So it seems to intensify the look of the ridges. So it's obvious it's not filling those grooves. And so ridge filling base coat fills in, it settles into the grooves and smooths out that surface. So then you have a nice, lovely, smooth surface for doing your nail polish. And even like this, even if you just wear the base coat, it's still, it makes your nails feel nice because then they feel smooth. I've done this where it's like if I'm feeling anxious or something, we do weird things when we're anxious or bored. I don't know, there's something soothing about rubbing a smooth nail against my lip. I'm weird. Okay. Oli's nail journey. When I remove my nail polish, my nail goes clear, and if I don't put, there's something on my nails go white. Nail tips go white because they're drying out. And if you think about it, so there's only 2 things that can go through the nail plate. It's water and oil. That is it. There's nothing else. So all of these products that say keratin, garlic, vitamin C, blah, 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 I don't care what they put in it, none of it can penetrate into the nail plate. The molecules are too big, and they're usually combined with other stuff that will make it impossible for it to penetrate. Beeswax, if you thought about that one, and there's products with beeswax that say they're going to make your nails stronger and make them grow faster, which is illegal. You can't say that a product changes a body function. So something that the body does, which is growing your nails, no product can change that. Technically it's illegal to make that claim. But it doesn't matter what's in it. It cannot do anything to strengthen, thicken, blah, 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 whatever. The only two things that can go through the nail plate is water and oil. Now, here's the two differences. Oil can go in between the different layers. So let me find another picture, because this is a fun live. So you can see how all of your nail layers, they sort of lay all random and stacked and smooth. So oil can go between the layers. Water can go between the layers and through every single cell, puffing it up. Which is why your nails get so soft, and you feel like a towel, a lot of times towels actually do rip them sideways because they're so soft from the water. Have you noticed they get transparent? And that is because of the water going through it. They also can get transparent when they soak up a lot of oil, especially our oil. So are white, I don't know why. Well, I do know why. People covet white tips. And what white tips mean to me now is dry, brittle, ready to break by just looking at them. So we want our nails to be semi-transparent so that actually when you bang them into something, they're gonna bend. This is what we want. We want bending, but we don't want the bending that you get with extreme water absorption. That's the wrong kind of bending. It's soft. Whereas when they have a lot of oil in them, they feel different. They feel like just good. They just feel stronger. And when they bend, they're just not gonna break, and less likely to tear also. Stephanie over on Facebook says, if you use a ridge filling base coat, do you use an additional base coat? That's up to you. I use 2 coats of ridge filling base coat, call it good. Now I'm on to color. Then 2 coats of color. Oh, the other thing is make sure that your base coat, you're wrapping, if you've got tips, you're wrapping it all the way under. And then also your top coat. So then what have you done? Now you've protected. So you've got 5 layers on top, you've got 3 layers on the bottom, and so you've protected these tips with 8 layers of polish. It provides a lot of temporary strength. Okay, that answers that. Okay, I've got a few more minutes. So, what's the other question? What's the answer to the other question for today is I did not have the right thing ready for showing you the mini hydration kit. What was it? So what was the thing that, let me ask the question properly so you guys get the right answer. What was the thing that I should have had that comes in the kit that I screwed up? I am human. Okay, so while you guys are doing it, Anna, did you decide, so Natasha, did you decide to sell the nail cover? I'm not sure what the question is. Natasha, try again. Give me more info, please. Oh, people love the car seat chain. Me too. Gloves are a must. I totally will be getting the car seat key. Yeah, Maria, it's going to help you a lot. You are going to love it. Love, love, love. Somebody says, my biggest mistake is never wearing gloves or buying the wrong ones and not lasting or breaking. Oh, by the way, so we're not sure about the demand for our kitchen gloves. So right now we only have them in medium because that's what we think of as the majority of the population. Hopefully, depending on if they sell well, then we will look into being able to try to have smalls and large. But I do know that like most of the people that I've talked to, they order medium. They buy medium gloves. So that's where we're starting with, because we want to make sure that we haven't tied up So this is a little mini lesson in business. When you purchase a bunch of product, it's sitting on the shelves, it's called tying up cash flow. And so that is money that's tied into the product that hasn't sold yet. So you can't do other things with the money because it's sitting on a shelf. So with business, it's very, very careful that you walk this fine line of investing in enough product for sales, but you don't invest so much that you now don't, all of that product is sitting, that money basically is tied, that cash flow is tied up in something sitting on the shelf. So that's why we're just kind of testing this, seeing if you guys love them as much as I do. Hopefully you'll want more than one pair, but I totally understand. Start with one, see what you think. I know you'll love them. You'll be like, oh my gosh. Okay, let me go do dishes. Let's see. Somebody says you make your lives, we're making your lives easier, and that's the whole process. That's kind of that's my feeling, is these products need to make your life easier. If they don't, then we're not going to carry them, which is a lot of reason why it's sort of, people ask me, am I going to create nail polish? Am I going to create stamping plates? There's all kinds of products that people want me to carry. This is why we don't carry brushes and a lot of nail art tools, because one, there's so many awesome other companies that are carrying them, and it doesn't fit in as much to be life-changing. It's gotta be like, oh my gosh, this is awesome. I want this forever. That's really, really, really important to me. So hopefully y'all have got your entries in for the contest. Okay, anything on Facebook? Stephanie, favorite ridge filling. I'm working on it. I'm working on a favorite ridge filling base coat. Sally's has several and those are the ones I'm testing. So I'm working on it, you guys. I'm working on it. Where do you email me? Try Anna, ANA, at myBlissKiss.com. I'll watch for that email over the next week. Actually, my team set it up so that there's an auto, I'm hoping. If not, we need to set that up right away. There needs to be an autoresponder that goes right out if people email me, Anna, at myBlissKiss.com. Kath says, this grandmother appreciates the car seat key and probably can come up with a gazillion more uses for it. Oh, you let me know. Let me know what you come up with. Dragon Granny, I wear latex, is that bad? Only if you find that you're allergic to it. And you'll know. Your hands will get itchy and they'll get mad at you. Okay, I'm at 2 minutes. I've got the 2-minute warning. And I never know if Instagram is when it's going to just turn me off. So you can find all of my articles at nailcarehq.com. And if you have any particular thing that you want to know if I've written about it, go to Google, type in nailcarehq.com, and whatever keywords, yellow nails, breaking nails, whatever, type that in, and Google will deliver you all of the articles that I've written that pertain to that. You can, of course, find our products at myBlissKiss.com. And we are working on building our YouTube account. So you can find all of our videos over at youtube.com/C as in channel, and then / again, BlissKiss. So, and we've got, I don't remember how many articles and videos. I've got product demonstrations of how to use our products, why I love them, why I created them or decided to offer them. And I'm also dictating dictating my 90 plus or almost 90 articles to make that easier so that you can listen when you're doing your nails. So you can find a bunch of those over on YouTube. You can always email me, Anna at MyBlissKiss or info at MyBlissKiss. If you have a question about your order, make sure you include your order number in your email. It makes it a whole lot easier for the team to find you and your order. And I see 11 seconds. So I'm going to sign off. I will see you all next Thursday. Bye. Hey, it's Anna. I've written over 70 nail care articles that you can find at nailcarehq.com. And if you're looking for products that will help you have longer, stronger nails, visit myblisskiss.com. Be sure to push the subscribe button and turn on notifications to get alerted when I publish more videos. This is Anna, signing off and sending you bliss.